Good evening and welcome to the July 17, 2018 Planning Commission meeting. Roll call, please.
Chair Chase.
Here.
Vice Chair Besodic.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson. Not here. Commissioner Lagasse.
Here.
Commissioner Lethane.
Here.
And Commissioner Mason contacted staff and she won't be attending tonight. She has an excused absence. Thank you.
Okey-doke. Commissioner Letton, would you please lead us in a pledge
Yes.
of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic
which stands
Oh, sorry guys.
one nation,
Under God,
indivisible, with liberty
liberty and justice for all.
or you weren't
Did I
singing.
miss a part?
No, I don't think so. Very good. It's not like singing the national anthem. You go right on.
It sounded short.
Hey, it is short. Okey doke. Next item of business is we need to have a motion for previous minutes from. I don't have that.
Chair Chase, this evening we do not have minutes yet prepared from the last meeting. We'll provide those to you at your next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. So, communications.
There are no additional communications tonight.
Wow, this could be a rapid fire meeting. Okey doke. I'll open it up to public comment for items that are not on the agenda. If anybody here wants to speak on something that's, again, not on the agenda, please go to the microphone and state your name, and it's opened and it's closed. Okey doke. Conflicts of interest? Any of the commissioners have a conflict?
No, sir.
Nope. Okey doke. Let's move right along then to public hearings. Item number 5A, 1646 Claremont Drive. Staff report, please.
All right, thank you, Ian. Good evening. The request before the Planning Commission tonight is a use permit to exceed the maximum permitted .55 FAR guideline and to exceed the maximum permitted 44% lot coverage threshold. The site itself is located on Claremont Drive and is 5,025 square feet in total area. The lot is developed with a two-story single-family dwelling that contains 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a living room, dining room, family room, a kitchen, and a 2-car garage. The Crestmore Canyon is located to the rear of the subject home. The applicant is proposing a 62 square foot addition to the rear of the existing home at the 2nd story level. Specifically, the master bedroom would be expanded by enclosing a portion of the existing 2nd story balcony. Additionally, a 155 square foot patio cover is also included that would be accessed via the ground level family room. There's also a number of site improvements that are proposed to the rear, in the rear yard area, which include landscaping enhancements, permeable pavers, bench seating, an outdoor fireplace, and a play structure. The project was reviewed by the Architectural Review Committee at their June meeting. At that meeting, the Architectural Review Committee forwarded the project onto the Planning Commission with a recommendation that the applicant consider removing the arch feature located just left of the 2nd story addition. The applicant has since submitted revised plans and has removed the arch located at the 2nd floor level. Additionally, the arches located on the ground floor level have also been removed, creating an overall uniform appearance. As indicated, a use permit is required for exceeding the maximum permitted floor area and lot coverage guideline. Staff finds that the home is consistent with the residential design guidelines. The addition incorporates a gable roof, which blends in well with the existing structure. The addition also incorporates a bay window, which provides additional architectural interest. The addition will utilize a stucco finish, which matches the existing single-family home, as well as many of the other structures in the surrounding neighborhood. And lastly, the addition and patio cover would incorporate a concrete tile roofing system, which matches the existing roof. Staff sent a courtesy notice to all property owners within 300 feet 10 days prior to the Architectural Review Committee, and we received one comment from the public inquiring about the size of the home. Staff indicated that the overall home would measure 3,115 square feet, which corresponds to a .619 FAR, which does not exceed the maximum .62 FAR that was established for homes rebuilt in the Crestmore neighborhood. Staff also noted that the project slightly exceeds the 44% lot coverage requirement. Specifically, that's coming in at 45.5%. Overall, we would recommend approval of this project and recommend that the Planning Commission approve the use permit request, subject to the findings and conditions of approval within the staff report. This concludes my staff presentation. I'd be happy to answer any clarifying questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions of staff from the commissioners? No? Okay. Would the applicant like to step up and just give a brief explanation of their project?
My name is Brendan O'Connor. I'm the homeowner at 1646. The addition is we currently have a balcony, which is great, but because we back up to Crestmore Canyon, it gets so windy out there that it's not really usable. So being able to put a bay window would, we believe, give us a little bit more use and add a little bit more light to our master bedroom. As far as the backyard, it hasn't been improved since the fire. So it's a series of tree stumps and a very steep slope. So from our perspective, we have 2 young children and it's unusable. What we would like to do is put in a retaining wall, shore up the back to the canyon, and be able to level it out a little bit so our children can safely go in the backyard. Right now, it's just not unsafe for our children to be back there unsupervised. We've worked really hard in trying to build something that we think is a beautiful and aesthetically pleasing backyard that fits in with the rest of the neighborhood and all the rebuilt houses. And yeah, we hope that you approve it.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions of the applicant from commissioners? No? Okey-doke. I think I'll open it up to public comment. Anybody here from the public wishing to speak on this item? And I will open it, close it, bring it back to the commissioners for whatever, motion, discussion, however you want to deal with it.
Through the chair.
Absolutely.
The revised plans, I think, look really great, and I hope that you're pleased also. And yeah, and I think that it sounds like a great improvement for your life and for your neighborhood. Yeah.
Okay, is that a motion?
I'm happy to make a motion. Although I don't have the. All right. I don't make a lot of motions. I'm new yet.
It's really easy. Make a motion to approve.
Oh, here we are. Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve planning use permit 17-004 based on findings 1 through 6 and subject to conditions of approval 1 to 25.
Very good. We
I
have a
second.
motion. We have a second?
I second.
Thank you very much. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, there are none, and there's no abstentions because there is nobody left. Okay, very good. It passes, and you have a 10-day appeal period. Thank you very much. Next item, 1150 El Camino Real, Suite 226. It's a request for a use permit to allow alcoholic beverages sales with a Type 41 ABC license in conjunction with the cafe and arcade per section 12.84.210 of the San Bruno Municipal Code. Staff report, please.
Thank you. As indicated, the applicant has applied for a use permit to establish alcohol beverage sales in conjunction with an arcade and the associated cafe. The subject site is located at the Shops of Tanforan on the upper floor near the entrance to Target. As you are aware, the shopping center contains a variety of retail and restaurant uses. As a bit of background, some of the members on the commission could recall in 2016, the Planning Commission approved a use permit application to establish the sale of beer in conjunction with an existing arcade known as Gamma Ride, located at the Tanforan Mall in Suite 245. The proposed business, which is known as Gamma Ride Cafe, will be located across the interior corridor from Gamma Ride in Suite 226 and will be operated by the same owner. The applicant is proposing to establish a Type 41 ABC license, which includes the sale of beer and wine in conjunction with an arcade and a cafe. Tenant improvements for the site are currently underway. The commercial space is about 5,500 square feet in total area, of which the bar and dining area makes up about 950 square feet, and the remainder of the commercial space would include 4 mini bowling lanes, pool tables, foosball tables, air hockey, shuffleboard, darts, pinball machines, and a variety of arcade and video games. The hours of operation would be 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sundays, which is the same hours of operation for the shops at Tanforan. The arcade and associated cafe is considered a permitted use within the planned development zoning district for the shops at Tanforan. The Planning Commission approval is only required for the sale of beer and wine on site. Given the specific games and activities that are being proposed on site, which include mini bowling, pool tables, darts, shuffleboard, and the fact that beer and wine would be served, staff anticipates that the business will be more geared towards an adult clientele, meaning individuals who are at least 21 years of age or older. However, staff does not anticipate any negative effects associated with the proposed alcohol sales, as the proposed business would have the same operating hours as the shops at Tanforan. Additionally, the mall provides on-site security during these normal business hours. And again, those hours are 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sundays. I'd like to highlight a few of the conditions of approval within the staff report. Condition of approval number 4 indicates that if any operational issues were to arise in the future related to the use permit request, that the director has the ability to call this item back to the Planning Commission for your review. I'd also like to highlight some of the police department conditions of approval. Condition of approval number 7 states that the applicant shall install a robbery and burglary alarm system that is monitored by an off-site alarm company. Condition of approval number 8 indicates that the applicant shall install a video surveillance system capable of recording and saving any crimes that are committed on the premises. Condition of approval number 9 restricts alcohol consumption to the bar area and dining area, and it does not permit alcohol consumption outside of these areas. And condition of approval number 11, the police department highly recommends that the business owner consider having an on-site security guard during peak business hours, and the police department can at any time require an on-site uniformed security guard if, during peak business hours, if the level of nuisance calls deems it necessary. Finally, I just want to point your attention to one last item in the staff report. If you turn to page 4, under item finding 5B, within the staff analysis, it indicates that there's a total of 4 on-sale ABC licenses within Census Tract 6041.02. And there's actually some conflicting data on the ABC website. One source indicates that there's 4 on-sale ABC licenses. The other source, which is the accurate source, indicates that there's a total of 21 on-sale ABC licenses within the census tract. What's important to note is that the census tract includes the shops at Tanforan. It also includes San Bruno Town Center, as well as Bay Hill Shopping Center, which all incorporate a number of restaurants that incorporate alcohol sales in conjunction with those restaurants. What's important to note as well is that at Tanforan, there are a total of 4 on-sale ABC licenses and 1 off-sale ABC license. Overall, staff is supportive of the project, and we would recommend that the Planning Commission approve the use permit request to establish alcohol sales, subject to the findings within the staff report and subject to the conditions of approval. I'd be happy to answer any clarifying questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions of staff? I would just have one as far as the condition of approval, but I don't know if you would know the answer to this one, Matt, or not. But when we're speaking of having a surveillance camera and having it capable of recording and saving any crimes, I mean, is there some sort of parameters as far as that's concerned? I mean, how long does it save it? I mean, are the police department looking for something that's going to be saved just like that for a 24-hour period on the tape, or?
Yeah.
Do we have any
No,
idea?
it's a good question. I think there's definitely a need for coordination between community development and the police department regarding that very issue, and we will coordinate internally, and in return, we'll coordinate with the applicant regarding that matter.
Okay, thank you. All righty. Any other questions of staff? No?
Through the chair.
Please, Commissioner.
In the findings that are required in order to approve the license, under number 5, based on Municipal Code Article 12.84.210, various subsections, item 5 says the applicant for a liquor license receives a letter of required, it receives a letter of public convenience or necessity issued by the City of San Bruno for an application which would meet the two criteria, the two conditions, A and B, A or B, but it meets both A and B in this case. But I don't see that letter of public convenience or necessity discussed in the conditions of approval, unless I'm just reading too quickly. How does it work?
So that letter, assuming the Planning Commission acts on this and approves the use permit, the summary of hearing would act as the letter of public convenience and necessity, and that would be forwarded on to the Alcoholic Beverage Control Department of ABC, essentially, would serve as that letter.
And it's a ministerial letter that's sent by staff by the department, presumably?
Yeah, at the
to
conclusion of this meeting, minutes will be drafted, and we'll create a summary of hearing, which will include the minutes, the associated findings, plus the conditions of approval. And all of that information will be forwarded on to the ABC.
Okay. I also note that in the staff analysis, you mentioned that because of the specific games that are proposed, staff anticipates that the business will be geared more towards an adult clientele. I do want to express some doubts about that, because in the existing portion, the other business owned by the same people, the Gamma Arcade itself, it's full of children and teenagers, and it's regularly used for children's birthday parties and so forth. So when we were talking about the video recording and so forth, will this video equipment be able to see people who purchase alcohol, so that we can track if it becomes a source of selling alcohol to underage people?
The video surveillance system will have cameras set up at strategic locations. I believe there will be a need to coordinate with the police department regarding on those specific locations, as it's not specified within the condition of approval. But I would assume that one of the camera locations would be at the point of alcohol sales. I think that would probably be one of the most important locations to review, essentially.
If we can make sure that that's discussed with the police department.
Definitely.
Okay.
Any other questions of staff?
Through the chair?
Yes, certainly.
So kind of to piggyback on what Sophie was saying, just to clarify, the existing arcade, as you're looking at Target on the south side to the right, that's the existing arcade, and I believe that's where they hold the children's parties, and it attracts a lot of children and teens. And this license would be for the area across the way. Am I right?
That is correct, yes.
So there actually will be separated, and alcohol will not be permitted to leave the new cafe.
That is correct,
and
yeah.
there'll be no crossover. Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
No, thanks, Matt.
Welcome.
Is the applicant present? If you would just like to step up to the microphone and give us a brief summary, if you wanted to.
Good evening. My name is Nilu, and I'm the
Just
manager.
pull the microphone down.
Sure.
There you
There.
go. Thank you.
So yeah, we are the Gamma, which is an arcade in Shops of Tanfran, and the Gamma Cafe is going to be an extension to the existing arcade. And we just want to serve our customers better, and we want to provide a safe and fun environment. And so we do have 36 cameras in our existing store that we always check, and the owner is most of the times he's over there, and he always controls to make sure that the employees and the customers are safe. And we do have a rule for selling alcohol that each customer can only purchase 2 beers, and we always take a note and tell whoever's at the register, whoever sells the beer, so that person who has already purchased beer. So, we always make sure that nobody gets more than 2. And also, we've never had any issues or events or any police reports regarding that since 2016. And we were in Belmont previously in 2013, and we would sell beer as well over there, and we never had any issues or police reports over there as well. So we think it's gonna be a great addition to our business to sell beer and wine, and alongside the fun video games, the mini bowling, and the food that we're gonna serve. So I think it's gonna be a great addition.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions of the applicant from the commission? No? Thank you. All righty, I'll open it up to the public. Is there anybody here from the public wishing to speak on this matter? John Q is not present, so it's open and closed. Okie dokie. Bringing it back to the commission for, once again, discussion, motion, perhaps, quietness. I don't know.
Through the chair.
Commissioner
A
Biassatti.
motion that we approve use permit 18017 with all the findings of fact and conditions of approval.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Very good. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, seeing none, the ayes have it. Again, it'll be a 10-day appeal period, and good luck. Thank you. Alrighty, the next item, 111 San Bruno Avenue and 761 through 767 Huntington Avenue, transit corridor plan. It's an initial study environmental checklist has been prepared for the project that indicates conformance with the transit corridors plans, TCP, the environmental, the EIR, that was previously certified by the City Council on February 12, 2013. However, this item was continued from June 19, 2018 meeting to allow additional time for staff to work with the applicant to finalize the materials for the Planning Commission's consideration. Additional time is needed to do this work. Therefore, staff is requesting further continuance of this item to the August 7th, 2018 Planning Commission meeting. So, David?
Chair Chase and Planning Commissioners, on this item, we continue to work with the applicant group on this application. We're focusing on the issue of parking and providing adequate parking for the project to be a little bit more clear to our commissioners as to the area of study. We've made good progress, I think, with the applicant team in terms of addressing this issue, but we still have a little bit more work to do in this area. I did communicate with the applicant team that given there's still work to be done, we would be recommending, they agreed to this, we would be recommending that this item be continued. Now I have a question actually for commissioners. You see that we're proposing the August 7th date. As you know, we hold the first Tuesday in every month for Planning Commission meetings. I would want to make sure that we have a quorum for that date. So we are recommending the August 7th date so long as that works for all of you, or most of you, at least a quorum. I know that the applicants are eager to move forward with the application and not wait until the more regular meeting date that would be August 21st. But most importantly is that we have a good level of attendance on August 7th. So we are recommending further continuance as stated here. We would suggest August 7th if you're available. And that concludes my comments on this item.
Through the chair, well, I have a question for you then, since I am the chair. It says here on our agenda, the next regular Planning Commission meetings will be held on August 3rd, 2018 and August 21st, 2018.
Right. I apologize for that, Chair Chase. That's an error. It should say August 7th. August 3rd, I believe, is a Friday. That's an error. It should say August 7th and 21st. And we did that purposely, potentially holding the August 7th date available. So if you agree that you could be available for the meeting of August 7th, then we would suggest that you continue this meeting when we get to that point to August 7th.
Is there, seeing as to how we have an ARC review meeting on August 9th, which is just 2 days after the 7th, is there any possibility of running those meetings, one after the other, since ARC review is at 6 and our meetings are normally at 7? That way maybe, I'm just kind of thinking perhaps, less meeting nights might be, I don't know what's on the agenda for the ARC review on the 9th.
I don't have that information handy either at this point. We do have regular meeting dates, and so people are accustomed to certain dates, say for ARC. So I would suggest, I understand your thought for efficiency. I appreciate that, but I think that it may be better to just have the regular ARC meeting on the 9th. And if you're available for the 7th, that would be terrific. And if you're not available for the 7th, then our recommendation would be to continue this item that's before you here to the 21st.
Through the chair?
Yes.
I will be unavailable on the 7th.
Okay.
That's one down. I'm sure I'll probably be available, one-on-one.
Through the chair, I'm available on both the 7th and the 9th.
All right. Very good. Thank you. And Commissioner Biasotti, how's your...
I can do the 7th and the 21st.
Okay. So you have 3 that can be there on the 7th right now. But we have other commissioners out, so you have to be able to, I guess, call them, give them find out what the story is.
Right, we would do that, but at this point, given that there may be 3, you could go forward and make your motion to continue, and we would, check with other commissioners. If there's a quorum issue, we would, continue it on to the 21st.
Okay.
I do know that we've been working with the applicant team on this. I do know that they're, working with us and eager to move this forward, and they have been working with us. We are the ones actually as staff really encouraging them to do some more work in this area, which they have done, but we're not quite there yet.
Okay. Sounds fine to me. Commissioner Biasotti.
In that case, I want a motion that we continue this to August 7th, pending the Community Development Department being able to coordinate everybody for that meeting. Subject to not being able to do that, we'll do it to the 21st. That way you're open to...
Perfect.
So there's a motion. Do we have a second for that?
I second.
Very good. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Very good. It will be continued until the 7th unless otherwise noted. All right, next item on our agenda, city staff discussion.
Under city staff discussion, the first item, or the item listed here, and then I've got a couple of informational items I'd like to talk to you about. But in terms of the listed item here, we're looking for volunteers for the ARC meeting, the Architecture Review Committee meeting on August 9th. Volunteers, please.
Through the chair, I would like to volunteer for the 9th.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be unavailable for that one.
Chair Chase?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to be there for that one or not. I'm not sure yet. I go back to work like a week before that, so that's a Thursday, correct?
It is, yes.
Yeah, I probably won't be able to make that one.
I'm sorry, for the same reason as the 7th, I'm going to be out of town and I will not be available.
Okay. So at this point, we have 1 confirmed, and we have 2 other commissioners that we can contact. So at this point, we'll be contacting the other 2 commissioners to see if we can't, pull together at least a quorum for that meeting.
David, I'll stand by. If we need one person to do it, I'll try to make that happen for you.
Great. Vice Chair Biasotti, thank you very much. So we'll check in with the other 2 commissioners, and if we can't secure a quorum, we'll contact you then.
Very good.
Thank you. I've got 2 more items. I wanted to give you kind of an update on items that you heard at your last meeting. There were a couple of items. There was an application at 123 Elm for a small cell wireless facility. There was also another application that you heard earlier as a special appeal item that evening for a notice of intent to abate a public nuisance at 3392 Fleetwood Drive. Both of those items have been appealed to the City Council. So in the case of the notice of intent to abate a public nuisance, you upheld the staff position on that and you denied the appeal. That property owner has appealed your action onto the City Council. We're expecting, it's been noticed, there's some back and forth with the property owner, the appellant on that, but we're looking at the meeting of July, City Council meeting of July 24th. It would probably be, again, earlier on that item. It would probably be, again, at 6 o'clock. It's noticed that way. And so long as the appellant can attend, we'll hold that meeting. July 24th, 6 p.m., an appeal to City Council on 3392 Fleetwood Drive. The other item was a small cell at a pole, an existing pole at 123 Elm in the public right-of-way. That was appealed by a neighbor, not the property owner directly, but a neighbor, and that too is scheduled to go to the City Council on appeal. You actually approved that item, and this has been appealed. Your action was appealed to the City Council. That will be heard under conduct of business on the regular agenda. And that'll be also July 24th, that same meeting. And it may actually, as I said, conduct of business, it may come up as a public hearing item. In any case, it will be before the council on July 24th. And I know that at the meeting of June 19th, your meeting of June 19th, the wireless applications came before you, 2 wireless applications. And I'm aware that there was a desire among many of you, if not all of you, for a study session. I provided some information to you recently in an email that we will be scheduling a study session. We're still putting that together. We've received some information from some of you about the kind of information that you would be wanting to hear about, to learn more, and we'll put that together, and as soon as we're able, we'll schedule that and we'll let you know, and we'll try to answer your questions and provide the information you're seeking. In any case, we do not expect to have that study session before the appeal, but in terms of the appeal and preparing the staff report, we are trying to put quite a bit of information into the staff report to address some of the, well, hopefully as many of the questions as possible in that staff report on 123 Elm going to the City Council on July 24th. And those are my updates for you tonight.
Thank you. Commissioners have any things they'd like to discuss? Better be quick. Okay? No?
Through the chair.
Certainly.
I recently received a flyer at my door. I was not home, but it brought back to me that I've been thinking more and more about the Mills Park, the Mills Center project that's going to be coming before sooner than later. And I received a little flyer concerned about parking by a neighborhood group, and it did. I wanted to ask whether or not there may be further information from the staff about the parking that is going to be required of this project. And I know that there's been talk, and it's been a while, so I'm a little bit rusty, but a talk about the potential of having parking permits in the area of the project. And so I was wondering, kind of in advance, if I might just ask, I don't know if a study session would be necessary, but something, I'd love to hear what's on the table right now for parking.
Sure. I don't think a study session would be necessary for that, but I would appreciate receiving a copy of the flyer, and what I could do, if it's your collective direction is at, say, our next meeting, come back to you and take a look at the flyer, review the project plans, and be more specific in terms of exactly what's being proposed at this time. And again, I want to be careful in terms of that application and not prejudicing your decision on that later. It will come to you later. So I want to be thoughtful and careful about how we discuss that item. It isn't on the agenda. We have an active application, as you're hearing with a prior item on tonight's agenda, actually continued item. We do work with the applicants, so sometimes there are adjustments in terms of things like parking. But if you would provide me a copy of that flyer, and if it's your direction, I'll come back to you at our next meeting and give you kind of an update as appropriate on that application, so that we don't in any way jeopardize that application as it may come back to you at a future date.
Of course, yes. Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Sure.
Any other commission comments or discussions or? No? Okay, well, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.